Hey, this is Matteo Lane.
I'm Emma Willman.
And this is Inside the Closet.
Inside the Closet.
Hey guys, this is Inside the Closet. This is Matteo Lane, and Emma and Patti are here.
Yes, and we've got a great episode for you guys today. We catch up with Patti.
You didn't let me do it. I was do it.
Oh, wait, you do it.
No, wait,
Keep it going.
No, we'll just keep this.
Here's how I was. All right, we're new to doing these intros. Today we get to catch up about Patti, we discuss some news, we discuss some love life catch up, and it's great.
Enjoy.
Now you do it. Okay, cool.
Hey guys, welcome back. So today we are starting without Emma because she's getting blood drawn and I have to leave to get my hair cut before I do this thing for GLAAD tomorrow. So we're on a time crunch. So we're going to start early, but thank the Lord we have one of your favorite guests here and one of my best friends in the whole world, Miss Patti.
Hello, it's me.
Hey, Patti.
Hey.
So first of all, it's you. What's the last time you were on here? The last time you were on here was with Mike, and we were talking about topping and bottoming.
I feel like, or it was the time with Monet.
No, Mike was after Monet.
Okay.
Because we were just all talking.
I'm like an unofficial reoccurring guest.
You kind of are. I mean, you've been on 4 times now.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
I don't even know how many episodes we have of this podcast. 50 or something? Or 49? Oh, we're at episode 50.
Oh, word!
There
50th
you go.
anniversary, yes!
Congrats.
Bringing out all the stuff.
That's actually kind of crazy that we've had 50 episodes of Emma and I just nonsensical ramblings for so long. But here we are. Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Mm-hmm.
You have a busy schedule.
I do.
You work for Miss Monet Exchange.
I do.
You guys are traveling the world.
We are.
Where are some of the places you guys have been?
Well, I mean, right now it's been mostly like the States and whatnot. But, we're going to we leave for Montreal tomorrow to do Montreal Pride.
Oh, that's right. Their Pride's in August.
Yeah. And then like in October, November, we're going to be in the United Kingdom for like a month.
Pip, pip, hello!
Yeah. Which I love.
I was in Montreal for 3 weeks.
You hated it.
No, I like Montreal, but I just
hate it.
No,
you literally came back and were like, "I hate it." I think you said those words.
I did not say I hate it.
Well, sorry, Montreal.
I was there for 3 weeks. The last week I had vertigo, and I hated that. And I was vertigo with party. You didn't hear about any of this?
I didn't hear about any of this.
Okay, so
You didn't
apparently
tell me
the
this
plane
story.
ride from San Francisco fucked up my ear because your sinuses when on the plane sometimes they can drain into your ear. This is what my doctor told me. And so for the first 2 weeks in Montreal, I'm running around, blah, 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 bonjour. The last week, I am so faint and so dizzy. I couldn't keep my head straight. And I was like, what is wrong with me? I couldn't get my head faggot. And I went to a French doctor, right? He's supposed to be this revered French doctor or whatever. And he's like, yeah, it's fine. And I was like, okay. And I was so fucking dizzy. I was like, ibuprofen and all the second I get back home to America, then my doctor was like, your ear is so inflamed. She's like, it's fucking up your equilibrium. She's like, that's why you can't see straight. So they put me on steroids for a week to get my ear fixed. And now I can finally see again. So the last week in Montreal was miserable. I was tired. I was miserable. I was dizzy. It was a mess. It was a big mess. But Montreal's fun.
I do. I've been to Montreal several times, and I like it. Never long enough to like really do anything, but I always love it.
All the boys are cute.
All of them. Even the people that are like begging for money on the street. They're like begging for
their
money
bodies
in
are
French,
tight.
and I'm just like,
their bodies are super tight. Yeah, and it's a weird thing because it's like they're a mix of American, but with just enough European to keep them looking great.
Right. I don't know.
hot.
I don't know. They just look hot. No, heroines never look so appealing.
Well, I mean, it depends.
Well,
there we are. I actually, what's so funny is like the gay scene in Montreal, that one street that just like all the like the pink and like orange bubbles above you and stuff. I just love it because as you're walking through, you're like, oh, gays, we're all the same no matter where we go. Hey, Emma.
Literally.
We just started. Is that okay? Yeah. Come sit. We're talking about Montreal, and we want your opinions on Montreal. Not for the festival, just as the city.
Yes. Hey, Patti.
Hi.
Hey. How are you?
We already did the Patreon, too. We got everything cut. Your hair looks good. Did you dye it again?
I got a cut yesterday, and I can get more Patreon content tomorrow because I go to LA tomorrow morning, and then I go in for a fitting for Crazy X, so I'll get to like be on set tomorrow. And then I film on Monday.
Aren't you excited?
I'm really excited.
This is our 50th episode, by the way.
Wow. That's crazy.
Really crazy.
Wow. That's
50.
A lot.
I don't know what you're showing us, Tyler.
Or that you think we could read way.
Like, sorry you rushed in and you were going to the
it's all
doctor.
good. I just
Today's
wanted
a crunch day.
Yeah, I had to go to the doctor because I what's up?
Nothing.
Oh. What does it say?
It says in 2 weeks it's a year.
Oh, right. In 2 weeks it's a year.
congrats.
Nice.
And in 2 weeks it's our Netflix special.
Yeah. Wow.
That's exciting. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
I saw the clips and I look like a turducken.
A what?
Turducken.
What is that?
I look like a turkey stuffed into a turkey stuffed into a turkey stuffed into a pig.
What?
I think you're being
You
a
lost
lot
the duck.
harsh, Ty.
No,
got the duck.
and the duck. It's stuffed into a duck.
Girl, you looked amazing. They sent us all the clips. We
I
all
look
got
a
to
lot
watch
better
those
now
clips.
because I've been doing yoga and not drinking
You look
now
great. You
for
look
like
great.
a while.
Yeah.
So now I've been actually like working the
And the
program,
hair.
and I got my hair done. So the first thing I noticed when I saw that is I went, ugh,
I don't understand.
what is it?
I think you look great.
Now.
No, you looked great. I watched the clip. We watched it together. I thought you looked really good.
But you must like turduckens.
Did you make up this word?
No, it's a
No, it's a real thing.
That's a real thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do people
turduckens are a
cook
real
it?
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, fancier than having like a regular turkey. You like put a duck inside of a turkey.
We don't need to be putting ducks inside turkeys. Why are we putting ducks inside turkeys? Are we that gluttonous that we're putting animals inside animals and baking them?
Yeah.
I guess so. Two like decadent animals.
I
still,
actually watched, when I watched mine, normally I'm like anti, like I don't like my looks, but I was actually
You looked
not,
great.
I wasn't that upset. The lighting was good. Although
the lighting
they
was great.
picked some strange angles, don't they?
They did. I think I think it looks really good though.
It
So
does
we're
look
excited
good.
for you guys to see it. too.
I'm kind of nervous because I don't know how it'll be perceived.
Absolutely, of course. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. But since we recorded it a while ago, it already feels like, I don't know, it's kind of surreal that to be talking about it coming out now. Because in my head, it's like, oh yeah,
We've changed so much as comics since then.
And
like
our
I watched
hair.
the jokes and I was like, I don't sound that way anymore.
Right.
I mean, you evolve,
Totally. But so you guys were talking about Montreal, and Patty was you were in LA for a while, right?
She was all over the place.
Yeah,
You've been traveling all over?
I've been all over.
Nice. Well,
She's
welcome
going to
back.
Montreal next week for Montreal
Ooh.
Pride.
Yes.
Montreal's
tomorrow.
very
I'm going tomorrow.
It's very gay.
Yeah.
It's very gay.
Yeah.
Montreal, Quebec.
Are you going to be at JFK?
Toronto.
I don't know. I can look.
Yeah, because I'm at JFK tomorrow at like 11 a.m.
Oh, ours is earlier. Our
Oh,
flight leaves at like
never
8
mind.
something.
Is Monet performing at Pride?
Yeah,
Awesome.
she's performing in the park, and it's like this huge. I'm really excited for her to do it because it's like this huge. There are so many people.
So I did a gay pride outside once, and it was amazing. It was like one of the most fun shows I've ever done. Titus Burgess was there. Ashanti was there. Like that
Love
was awesome.
Titus. We follow each other on Twitter.
He was great. That show was awesome because the shows outside are hard.
Yeah.
But then I did a show this past Thursday in the park.
Oh, the thing?
Did the Twizzler.
How did it go?
So the beginning
What?
part,
She had
I
I'll
had a
explain.
comedy drop thing with IFC, but it was sponsored by Twizzler. So Matteo did the comedy drop too, didn't you? It's like where you pop in on people and tell them unsuspecting people jokes.
No, I never did it.
Really?
No.
They said that they had done something with you.
I've done a web series with them that you were in.
Yeah.
But I haven't done a comedy drop. No.
Okay, so we did the comedy drop. That portion went like great, and I was doing Twizzler jokes. I'm eating Twizzlers. I'm doing everything. I'm like crawling around. Like I was like,
what?
Because it was humiliating to begin
Yeah.
with because it's like you're going up to unsuspecting people and telling them jokes. So I just was like, oh my God. And then I embraced it and it was fun. The live show, it was all ages. The sound was a little spotty. That was tough. And for some reason I got really dirty.
It's outside though.
Outside,
Any
yeah.
outside show that's
All
not
ages,
singing.
you're like, pussy!
Yeah.
That's all I did for when I was on that show Joking Off, which is this
Oh my God.
ill-fated
Well,
first of
MTV
all-
show.
Do you remember that, Patty?
No, but
you don't
the
remember
title-
Joking Off?
That's
No.
the whole thing's a pun. Get it?
Right.
Instead of jerking off,
Oh,
joking off.
I
Right.
just got
mean,
it.
that's the show.
Right. So that makes
Oh.
sense. I mean, hello.
But I mean, the audiences were so young. Like every joke we wrote was
It's
just
supposed
like
to be
over
super
their head.
hyped.
So I just yelled "pussy" most of the time. I mean, that's the
Really?
only thing they got. Like gay, butt, pussy. Like
Well, yeah, 'cause it's
Penis.
a bunch of like 15-year-olds.
yeah.
It's kind of like how to like it's like a joke off too. Like it's like they
It
go
was-
toe to toe. I forgot about that.
Although
show.
I met such wonderful people, from Aquafina
Yeah.
to Jesus and Miro to like so many great friends.
They all
from
did that show?
Yeah.
Wow, that was actually one of the worst auditions I've ever had for that show. It was so bad. Even because we're friends with Cypher Sounds, who was casting in that, and now that I know him, he was like, "Yeah, your audition was bad." Because I had been auditioning for a scripted thing for that whole week, and I was putting so much time into it, and then I got that, and I go, "Oh, it's improv." I love improv. No, it won't be a problem. It's not real improv. It's supposed to look like improv. You're supposed to have a bunch of jokes prepared.
Yeah, but you write all the jokes.
You write all the jokes, but because it said it was improv, I was like,
Whatever, fuck it, here I go.
right.
Yeah.
I should have known that. No, and it's not just improv. They want you to they had you stand and then run, and then you had to be really cool about it. You had to be like, this person be like, and then say the joke.
Yeah.
So,
I was on a show I shouldn't have been on.
but you must have
Wait,
killed the audition.
can we find this somewhere?
I think it's still on
Is it
YouTube.
available on
yeah,
YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
I
didn't
was
hear about
20
joking
pounds.
off?
I was 20 pounds
No.
less, and I wore a backwards hat every day.
Wow.
And I looked like a
When
mess.
was this?
Like 4 years ago.
Yeah, see, when I moved to New York City, I basically kind of stopped watching TV.
Yeah.
No one in New York City watches TV. They
Right.
watch like Hulu,
Right,
Netflix,
especially
but
not
there's no...
like MTV.
No.
Right.
Well,
Like,
that's
that's-
not true because kids do.
Well,
I was on the
kids
train,
do,
I get
yeah, and then you
recognized.
have the occasional hangers-on that are still fucking watching MTV, and you're like, okay, cool.
My
right,
cousin,
right. They're
like,
gonna play
let's
music
go-
videos any day now.
Right, yeah, it's like let's it's time to
Obsession
move
with
into
music
dramatic
videos.
You get recognized from Girl Code, not joking off.
And Joking Off.
Really?
One of the security guys at the cellar was like, "Yo, I used to watch you on Joking Off." I was like,
Wow.
"What?" I was like, "You did?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, that guy's mad funny." And I was like, I'm like, "I'm sorry you had to watch any of that show."
That's so
Those security
funny.
guys at the cellar are great. They
Yeah,
start
they are great.
revealing stuff, and you're like, and they listen to all the jokes.
That's great. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh yeah, that one's new. This one, da da da." I'm like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah,
They know what's
becomes-
up.
Well, what kind of you have no
Right, that's
you
fair.
it would be. I feel like it would be really
uncomfortable if they were covering their ears, like no,
right,
But
or
they're
just
working all the
what
time.
could
They're
you-
like kicking people out. They're telling
Right.
you know they're like doing like a job, like
They
letting
do
people
kick
in
people
and
out
stuff.
quick.
Oh yeah,
It's like me and you at the Hertz rental car. Like when we were in line, being like, "You have to get out of here."
Yeah,
They
yeah.
do that. Like,
Oh, you
as
know what?
quick.
I rented a car recently, and when I
Hey.
returned it, I was returning it late, and it was a homosexual at the thing, and I was like, thank God.
Thank
I was like, we
God.
have something in common. I was like, hey, hi.
Right.
And he was like talking to someone on the phone, and he said like some sort of curse word, and I was like, he was like, I'm sorry about that. I was like, it's okay. I work for a drag queen. So, and he was like,
like,
hoping
what?
that hoping that he would ask. And he was like, oh, really? My mom's a drag queen. And I was
What?
like, who's your mom? And it was Trinity K. Bonet from Drag Race.
Holy fuck!
Yeah.
And you're like,
And I was
okay,
like, I
we're
work for
Monet.
someone on Drag Race. Cool. Wave the fee.
Work.
Wait, his
Yeah.
mom is on drag. Is that like
His
No,
drag
his
mom.
dad.
Or drag mom, I thought.
No.
Oh, they made
his
Trinity for a
dad.
second.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
That's
his dad.
wild.
his dad, his biological
Work.
father is
That's
Trinity K. Bonet.
awesome. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
What are the chances of that?
God.
Can
Wow.
I tell you I love gays because like when gays see each other in public, it can go two ways. It can either
Yeah,
be a
we can either
face
hate-
off or it can be like when you bring two pit bulls together. You never know how they're going to
Totally.
respond. I finally quit New York Sports Club, the gym.
Yes.
I mean the equipment was salvaged from the Titanic. It is 1,000,000 degrees out in New
And
York
it's not
and the air
cheap
conditioning is
because
broke.
you can go to Planet Fitness and Planet Fitness like pays you $1.
and their air conditioning works.
Right.
So I was doing this
New York
shoot for
Sports Club is
logo.
supposed to be kind of nice, I thought.
They tell themselves they're supposed to be
Right.
nice.
The one in Harlem is nice,
Okay.
but
The one in my neighborhood sucks. And then
Yeah.
I was in Chelsea and I was like, I'll go to this one because maybe it'll work. And I walk in, air conditioning's broke, machines are broke. So I was
crazy.
like, fuck it. So I walk up to the guy and I go, this gay guy with like just deadpan gay guy behind the desk. And I said, yeah, I need to cancel my membership. And he literally takes a pause and he just goes, is there anything I can do to stop you? And I go, no. And he goes, all right. And that was it. And I was like, all right. I mean, I think that was like a gay wink, like, I'm not putting you through this. I got you,
Right.
girl. I know this
Well,
shit.
Right.
also, I feel like he probably only works there like one day a week for the
Yeah.
free
Oh, he
membership.
doesn't give a
like he doesn't give a fuck.
right.
I joined
right.
Equinox.
Hey, move it up in the world.
Equinox.
Girl, I
That is
like
nice.
heaven.
If you're not in a city and you're not familiar with Equinox, it's like beautiful.
I feel like they
Beautiful
have
gym.
equinoxes everywhere, right? Major
Well,
cities.
because when I used to walk in a New York Sports Club, I'd walk in, scan, and they'd spit on you.
Right.
And then so now with Equinox, I
You're
walk
trapped.
in,
I'm
and
kinda
it's
into
like
that, though.
it's like I feel like I'm like going in through the pearly gates every day.
Wow.
It's just like
Yeah, once you get something like nice too, it's so hard to go back.
And I
Yeah,
use
it
six days a
really
week.
is.
That's why I'm scared of, because I've flown first class like 2 times, but like for really short flights. So I'm like, because I've gotten bumped up, it's just like I want to get a first class long trip, and then it's like it's going to be over.
It's over.
To LA
Like,
next month.
Really? Oh, I've never had a first class trip to LA.
I have, and I've flown first class to London. And I'm telling
this
you,
queen over
Ooh.
here. Don't even get me
when
started
you,
on this one.
yeah, I'm flying first class to Montreal. So you'll be
Look at her
Really?
pulling our
So-
fucking
yeah.
crown.
So they fly you first class when you're doing this stuff with Monet?
No, I fly so much that I have status.
Oh,
so
that's
I pretty much always get upgraded.
How much
Are
do
you
you
diamond
fly?
or platinum?
Platinum.
Okay,
Wow.
I'm platinum after this flight tomorrow. So, bitch.
Okay,
Nice.
well,
Bitch.
all
I
right.
had been flying like twice a week, so I was like racking it
Caught up.
Right, yeah.
But then I haven't been, because since I was supposed to be in LA,
and it gives you anxiety, right? You're like, I gotta take a flight. I was like, I gotta get a
it's
fucking
been
flight.
so, my back feels better. Like I've felt so much better since I haven't been flying regularly.
knee hurts.
Yeah, you just feel
I
like
feel
your
better.
body is
Because
like,
I was supposed to be in LA at the end of July, and then they moved it, so I like just stayed in New York longer. So then I like didn't have any, like it was just kind of blocked off. And then now once I go to LA, I'm not going to be. I was supposed to go to Kansas for a day, that got canceled, and so now I'm just like in LA. Except for I'm going to come back to New York for like 1 week, but other than that, I'll just be in LA for like almost 2 months.
Right.
And I'm not leaving till I get famous.
Can I?
you're not?
Well, unless
She's
it's not
already
in 2 months.
famous. Can I ask us?
But that's my goal.
Can we talk a little gay politics for just a
Please.
second? So the other day, Disney announced that they are having their first openly gay character. He's going to be camp, and he's played by a straight guy. Now,
shout outs to Crystal Clear Christine, who got in an argument with someone about
Well,
that.
here's my thing. So I tweeted. Now, you know me. I don't really argue a lot on Twitter or whatever. So I tweeted. I thought it was funny because I'm like, it is a little ridiculous, right? And every way to think about it, just how the times have moved on. So I quoted that, and all I said was, gays can act too.
Right.
People were infuriated with me.
The amount
Wait,
of gay
why?
men that want to be actors, that are actors that don't get opportunities is
Furious.
insane.
What's interesting, so I have a lot of thoughts on this, and this is actually kind of what we were talking about,
Yeah.
because I get nervous to sort of like say how I really feel about
I think
some
it's
of this
okay
stuff
to have
because
these conversations, but I just couldn't believe how angry people were.
Yeah, 'cause then
well,
it's
what's
clearly about
interesting is
something
I
else.
saw this on like a political Instagram account, and you were tagged in the comments.
Wow.
They were like, these are the people that could have done it. It was like Matteo Lane and a
Ooh.
couple of, you were first pick.
Really?
And then there were several other people that were, yeah, actually, I meant to like forward
Did you
that
even
to you.
audition for it?
Do you think I auditioned for it? First of all,
See,
clearly
and
they
that's
weren't
kind
looking
of,
for gay people.
Well, and that's
Right.
part of, I mean, and maybe that's not the case, but it's like maybe in this casting scenario,
They need to
it's like
cast
you
a-
just weren't like brought up.
And
But
that's all who the casting director is, because the casting.
I don't think I'm famous enough for any
No,
of that.
that's the casting director's job, because the casting woman at Crazy Ex, Felicia Fasano, like was looking for people of color, looking for like queer people to play the queer roles, or like, you know what I mean? Like she was like, because you have to like, that's why it reflects that in the cast.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they just have to do the work to like uncover that a little bit.
Well,
And
it's
then
like
consider all the
companies
white
that are
people, too,
not
but-
like working with casting directors that are specifically looking for queer people and people are colored.
Right.
Disney.
Right. And it's all on who you, and I mean, I'm sure she can do whatever kind of casting.
You know what I
she needs to,
mean?
but-
Like, Disney is like very selective and like specific when they like do something that is outside of the norm. It is like
Right.
very calculated. It is like, whatever. It's kind of like Beauty and the Beast where
Who
they're
is
like,
the
oh,
straight
LeFou
actor?
like might be gay. It's
The
like,
straight
but he
act-
wasn't really gay.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
just,
waiting
like-
for him to be like, "So, sister, but it was
Right,
kind of
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, he was just LeFou.
Who's the
And then
straight
that's-
actor? Because he should back out.
I don't think. Here, let me say what. Can I just?
Yeah.
Let me voice my opinion first on this. So a lot of people were arguing me, right? And of course, I'm trying to be funny. Like one guy arguing, he's like, it shouldn't matter about your sexuality, your race, or gender if you're a good actor. So I wrote, well, by your logic, Lindsay Lohan should play Mulan, and he didn't get it. And so people said, well, that means that straight or gays can no longer play straight people. And I was like, we've been doing it. We had to for like 100
Right.
years. And then everyone was like, what about Moonlight? What about this? What about that? I'm like, look, I'm not saying that straight people can't play gay. I am not saying that. I'm saying in this circumstance, in this day and age,
Right.
after the Scarlett Johansson thing, you're going to tell me that Disney's putting their first gay character and then saying he's camp. And I'm sure there are a lot of straight people behind this decision.
Right.
And then you're going to give it to someone who's straight, so now is this is he minstrel? Like, is it going to
Totally.
be like him playing up to something that he thinks like, this is our idea of campy and gay? Which
Right.
I'm not saying that those things aren't real, because I have, like, you know, people used to criticize Jack from
Especially
Will and
'cause
Grace
it's
the
like
same way.
it's like Cameron on Modern Family.
But
like that
it's-
actor
I
is
love
not gay,
him.
you know.
But
Right.
I'm not saying yes, straight people can play gay people. I'm
Good
just saying,
point.
I'm not arguing that straight people
Right.
can't play gay. They have and they will.
Right.
I'm just saying, in this case, you know, it's interesting to me. They chose the word camp and
I
chose the
agree.
word first,
Right.
And then they're putting. You know, because he's also playing with a gay character, right? He's playing with a real gay man who's playing a gay character. So, like,
So
in
there
Modern
is a
Family,
gay character. Wait.
in Modern Family,
Oh, in Modern
Because
Family.
Jesse Tyler
Oh.
Ferguson is actually
Right.
gay.
Right.
Look, I'm not saying straight people can't play gay. Brokeback Mountain, all these movies have done great things for the gay community and telling the gay story, because obviously maybe gays weren't in a position then to have these stories told.
Sure.
But I'm just saying, I was saying, you know what? Like, it's just so funny to me. Like,
It's odd.
The percentage of queer people in the creative arts that could have taken on that role to do, like, example for Titus and Breaking Kimmy Schmidt,
Sure.
or whatever Kimmy Schmidt, like, that's more in line of what I think they could have done, because he's so brilliant in that
Right.
role. I find nothing he does is offensive. I don't even find straight people playing gay people offensive. I just thought it was a suggestion, so I couldn't believe the outrage.
I agree too,
that people
especially
had.
that they say that they use the word campy and that they said the first one. It does, or it seems like they would have acknowledged, like, here's why we picked this guy. Like,
Right.
he did this the best and he did that best. And it's like, oh, okay. Like,
I'm sure he'll do a great job,
Just
and I'm sure it'll be
acknowledge that
great
it's
for
kinda-
young kids.
Yeah.
But I just was wondering, you know.
right.
I mean, I think there are flip sides to the coin, you know? I think it's a really complex argument, and I think a lot of people want to see it in one light, and I think people want to say, like, you know, cast gay actors for gay roles, period, full stop. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that, and, like, you know, but with this guy, it's like we don't have access to who went in for that role. We
Right.
don't know who went in for that role. They may have had people, and he just was the best actor.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
you know, and I'm not saying that, like, you know, it makes it right that this straight person is playing, like, the first, like, gay character in, like, the Disney canon, but it's like, at the same time, it's like we don't have access to who was brought in
Right.
for that role. You know what I'm
Aziz-
saying? Because
Aziz
for
had-
all, you know, Instagram knows or Twitter knows or whatever. I mean, you said that you didn't, but for all they know, like, you could have gone in for the role and, like,
I
he
would have bombed it.
right, and he,
Yeah.
like, you know, and he was just better. You
Now,
know?
let me play devil's
It's
advocate.
like,
What do you think about Scarlett Johansson backing out, playing the first playing a trans role?
well, I feel like politically she had to, because it's like, what else was she gonna do? And
So
And
are
there's-
you
let
know,
me ask-
whatever,
let me ask-
you know, fuck it. There are
Oh,
people
no,
that are
but-
going to disagree with me, but
Of course,
so
but what I'm
here's
saying is, does it take the credibility away from gay people that we're not? It's okay to mix
also,
and
there's
match with us.
trans actresses, there's even fewer opportunities
Yes.
than for gay men being able to play straight, and so there's even fewer of that.
Yes, I think that that's true, but also with there being fewer ones, like no shade, like how many of them are as talented as Scarlett Johansson?
You
I
know,
don't think she's.
well,
But what I'm saying is, like, you know, and so I'm going to play, like, devil's advocate within this conversation, but, like, you know, maybe in order to get this film produced,
Right, they had to
maybe
attach
they
a
needed
name
a
to it,
name.
yeah.
But, you know, and Bob brought this up. He was like, but also, like, Precious, like, the main characters, like, weren't names. It was all the
True.
supporting characters
True.
that were names that
Yeah,
brought
yeah,
people to
throw
see the
a-
show.
right, throw in a
So that's
supporting
an
Well, yeah, Oprah
option.
behind it,
but
too.
it's like, you know,
And Tyler- or was it Tyler Perry?
it's hard because it's like, you know, obviously, like, I want trans women representing trans women. I don't disagree with that statement. I don't disagree with, like, why that's important.
Right.
But I also think that, you know, in the scope of, like, movies and television, like, a lot of the story, like, a lot of trans stories just, like, aren't out there and readily available
Right.
to young people that, like, need to see these stories. And it's like, yes, it's not good that a straight cis woman is playing this trans character,
Have
but
you
at the
seen-
same time, this story is important. It's
Right,
like,
to
what's
get out
more
there, don't
important to
stop.
us?
Especially if
Getting
it's
the
not
story
gonna-
out for the person in
Well,
fucking
it's not
Ohio
gonna
that
get
doesn't
made.
have access
Right.
to it. Apparently, it's not. I mean, I don't know, but
I
that's
think
what
it-
upsets
I
me
think-
sometimes.
I-
I'm like, I get it, guys, but also,
I'm going to put it this way. Over the history of acting, right? The women were
That'd
not
be
allowed to act,
devastating if it
right?
doesn't get made.
So women were played by men, which is like ancient Greek, right? And then when movies came along, you know, Italians play Native Americans, white people play black people. They even had black people play Asian people. in
a
movies.
real twist of
and
events.
After time, you as people start to progress and say we have representation and we have talent in our communities to represent our communities in the right way. You get black actors to play black actors. You get women to play women. You get Latinos to play Latinos. You get Native Americans to play Native Americans. So, I'm trying to see if how far we're going to allow this to progress. And if we stop at gay people and say, well, straight people can play this. We'll take this. Thank you. It's like, well, then at what point do we get our justice? At what point do we say we are allowed to represent ourselves as well? Because every narrative that we've had of queer culture for so long that's been played by straight people it's always kind of sad. You know what I mean? So it's like
sometimes they hit, like Modern Family nails it.
They nail it.
They do. I mean, I also think it's one of those.
I'm playing devil's advocate, by the way.
Right. I mean, and I think that we have. I don't know. It's complicated because it's like, I don't want to be that guy that, that is on the side of the conversation that's like, well, then gay people can't play straight people. But we
had to for years though.
Right. And there are many gay men that have been leading actors that were closeted.
And also those roles are still important for them to play for other reasons than whatever the love aspect of it is.
I could play straight.
And I also think that there are some actors that are in these machismo leading male roles that are gay that we know is speculated around Hollywood and et cetera, and they don't come out for X, Y, and Z, and people are like, come out. But I think that we also have to consider the human beings that are behind this and sort of give them a break and be compassionate to the fact that a lot of these major blockbuster films are released in conservative countries. And if they have a star that is openly gay, that film's not going to get released in that country, which means that actor is not going to get that job. And when that actor is at a certain point, there are not any smaller jobs that they could necessarily take. I mean, they could, but it's it's survival of their career. Especially and what they're accustomed to. And
I'm
not saying it's
to that,
right,
but also when Ellen came out, she was backlash, but she found her way back through herself,
and she did. But what I'm saying is,
she was a comedian, not an actor, so she was able to because one thing with comedians is different from actors.
We can turn everything.
Make the platform again at night. We don't have to wait for a role. We can just do
it ourselves.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying that, people shouldn't come out. But I just think we have to have a little compassion in the entire conversation. I don't think it needs to be so black and white. And I think that's what's getting so difficult now with, I think we need to be held to a higher standard in terms of political correctness and representation. But I think we also are sort of, we have this culture at this point that's just to crucify people for doing the wrong thing.
They're so quick to jump on people without thinking, why am I jumping? Am I jumping on someone because this is something I'm self-conscious that I secretly have a problem with, or what's going?
I also think that we lose sight of a bigger picture because it's we are moving forward. Gay people, queer people, trans people, all the folks. We still have a long way to go, and I think that we have to sort of. I don't think that we necessarily have to back down or give people a pass, but at the same time, we have to realize what's more important: certain stories being available and being made, because it's hard to get queer shit produced.
I hadn't thought about that about the Scarlett Johansson one too. Aziz is. I don't know if you've seen him work on this joke. He's been at the Cellar and he was talking about trying to cast.
I don't know if you should say his material. Don't say his material.
All right.
Sorry, I'm just stepping in because I think a comic wouldn't like that.
Yeah, it's it's. Okay.
Sorry, is that rude?
It's a. I'm not going to say the joke. I can say the concept of it.
Okay.
So the concept basically is about him, and it's a really funny joke, but it's about him casting an Indian to play. In Master of None, and just how he was so adamant about we have to have an Indian boy play younger me, obviously. But then when they were casting little white kids, the little white kids would have these insane acting resumes because they're all in they have more opportunities to act. And he was so it was so hard to find a little Indian kid, and then he does a hilarious joke about it. But then it was just how hard it was to find a little Indian kid that had acting experience, because then it's then when you do swoop in and someone is okay, I want to find the person, then it's and who has acting experience, which is then perpetuating the whole thing, which makes it tough.
I think just so listeners at home don't freak out, I think these conversations are necessary in looking at all sides, and like you said, not everything is black and white.
I'm not on I hate to be I'm not on one side or the other, but I'm not necessarily
but
saying
isn't that life?
Certain
everything
things
is a little
are
more
okay.
gray.
Yes, and I think that we sort of lose sight of that sometimes, and I think that maybe the conversation is Yeah, I don't know. It's like about being grateful in shitty circumstances, you know? It's like
I do want to say we are now at a special time, right? Where the outcry of people is to see themselves represented. So this is the first time in history where Hollywood is making decisions based off what people are asking for.
Right.
So we're at a time when authenticity, even just the past 2 years,
Sure.
I'm not even talking 5, maybe
Right.
this year, where people are saying, please, we're saying we're here, we're queer, we
Right.
want to see ourselves represented. So, maybe this is the time that things should, rightfully so, start changing so that from the future, even though it'll be harder, in the future, when we're seeing stories about people of color or people who are queer or people who are trans, whatever, that we're seeing those people in an authentic place tell their story who can also act. And it will give
Right.
more, like you with the little Indian kid, right? There's so many
And he
white
was
kids acting.
exaggerating it
Of course.
for comedic effect, but
But it's like the more that these people are doing this, the more opportunities open for people who are different for
Right.
whatever reason. And so it'll encourage more younger people in the future to be like, oh, I saw that once.
And it can
I
be like
can
a
do it.
class thing too, because like a lot of kids that have the privilege of taking like acting classes, and then parents who have the time
It's
to
a
take
money
one thing,
thing.
they're like little rich kids.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Yeah.
it's
My
like
parents couldn't afford anything.
there's this web series, I forget the name of it. It was so like funny and touching. It was the best web series I've ever seen.
The Golden Girls.
No, and it was about it was about a lesbian who falls in love with a trans woman. Is that ringing a bell to anyone? I'll get the name
Saved
of
by
it.
the Bell?
It came out 3 years ago. It was so funny and interesting, and like I was like blown away. But I'll get the name of it, and it had a pretty good amount of views. But I was like, it was the actress who played the lead actress who plays the lesbian that falls in love with a trans woman, and the trans woman in it, and it's like was very like multiracial, and like it was really, they had like a lesbian that was like kind of transphobic, and like there was just like all kinds of stuff going on. But it was funny too. I couldn't believe how they still made it funny. That's good acting.
yeah.
I like any
In a web series?
I think we also crave, all three of us crave, we all communicate through humor.
Right.
And so if you can communicate any problems through humor, it just
dark
makes it
humor, dark,
easier
smart
to understand.
humor.
Yes, it
Because
just
some
makes it
things
so
are
easy.
just so fucking ridiculous, and then it's like,
Well, it's like sometimes it's like I don't know. It's like when you're watching something serious and you just laugh because it's
Right.
like so ridiculous. But that's
I've been
you know.
laughing at the news the past week. Can I say something? I know
Yeah,
Omarosa is from the depths of hell. I know
why
she
is
is
she coming
from
back? Where has she been like popping up again?
girl. Let me just say this.
Yeah.
Everyone has been trying to get Trump, right? Everyone's trying to figure out a way to take him down. Finally, there's one person. She is from the depths of hell.
Right.
I do not like Omarosa, but she is playing his own game against him.
What's she up to?
She's releasing tapes.
Has she ever had sex, do you think?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She's releasing all the. She's recorded everybody. She's.
Isn't that illegal?
Of course,
Yes,
it's illegal.
yeah, absolutely.
She released a tape of her talking to John Kelly, the chief of staff, in the Situation Room, firing her, and conversations with Trump, conversations with staff on his campaign, talking about how they can spin the story because they know he said the N-word. She's releasing everything.
Wait, I didn't hear about this.
Girl, that's all the news is talking about the past
Really?
few
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Wait, so is she gonna get in trouble for this?
I'm sure she is.
So this is just
but
her
she's
out.
lawyered up.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure she thought about it before. There's like,
But the thing is, like,
wait, what the
hell
fuck?
hath no fury like a scorned woman. I mean, this.
Right.
I mean, in 2 days, Omarosa, and everyone is like, Omarosa, we do not take you serious about.
and
but
they
she
were
is
like
playing
checking
his
this-
game.
How did she have a little like mic in her butt? Like how did
I
she
don't
record
know.
this stuff?
I
Probably
think just
her
like her iPhone. I don't think the
But you're
people
not
that-
allowed to bring iPhones in the situation.
Yeah.
No technology is allowed in the Situation Room.
How
It's
did
the most
she do-
secure room in the world, and somehow
Woo!
Omarosa got to record it.
Which is why I think, it's all being run by idiots. Like, I just don't think that people
Well,
are, like, paying attention.
The
you
White
know?
House right now is just a bunch of fucking.
Okay, this is amazing. Yeah, CNN. Omarosa is doing something none of her predecessors have done. She's gone nuclear on a former boss in the White House. That's something no other former White House staffer has done. Wow. Spacer has tried self-depreciating humor. Good fucking luck with that. Bannon has carried on from afar as an ideological soulmate. Others have just stayed quiet. Huh. She is the first to turn on Trump with a slow torch. I mean, Jesus. Because also, yeah, you can't bring an iPhone in. Obviously, you can't have something like on you. You go
You're in
through
this
everything.
situation. You're talking to the chief of staff.
She's probably been recording like everything since she got in public office. She probably has some like recording equipment like implanted in her. Like I just saw Mission Impossible, and there's a scene where they like suck out a recording device and implant a new one. and not to do a
I
spoiler.
don't think
but-
Omarosa. I think it's just
Because
her
how'd she get those?
iPhone.
You think?
I'm sure it was just her iPhone. I'm sure they didn't think. The thing is, like,
They're like,
you
"There's
knew
no
she
way."
was a snake, right? Like, the
Right.
Greeks would say, like, that person's a snake.
And she sat on it because I would.
And-
I would be in there like,
she sat
really,
on it.
motherfucker, because I'm recording
And
you.
right before the midterm election,
Right,
she's like, I
right.
have some things to share.
Right.
And it literally gone nuclear. I mean, it's like, it is, he's now panicking and freaking out. And there was an article saying that this is the first time, like, the entire staff of the White House is panicking because they're like, did she record us too?
Right.
Like, everyone's just freaking the fuck out.
Well,
and she's going on every show
And-
in a yellow dress, just being like, yes, I'm a witch.
Right.
It's just like,
Good
This
for
motherfucker.
her, honestly. Like, good for her. Someone had to do it.
I mean,
Wow.
I would never say I defend Omarosa. I
If
just
she
think
hadn't
it's
been-
interesting
if she hadn't
from the
been
depths
fired,
of hell she's come
popped
out.
up. If she hadn't been fired, what is it though? Would she have just held on to those tapes and not let us hear
Well,
them?
that's what everyone's saying. They're like, well, that's so
Yeah,
shady.
fuck
Like,
you.
you're doing, like, you knew he was a racist from the beginning.
Right.
You knew, but she has answers for everything. I mean,
Right.
they're like, you knew he was a racist. And she goes, I was under the spell. You see, I was a confidant. I'm like, God, she has really mastered
Wow.
all her answers. And they're all bullshit, but it's just,
Right.
I just think
But
it's so
whatever
funny.
gets us the tapes,
Girl,
under
that's
his
what I'm saying.
spell.
I mean, it was in some other words, you know,
Right.
she said. But I just think it's so
I mean,
funny.
honestly, it might have been incredibly selfish, but maybe this was the plan the entire time because she
Could've been.
knew it was going to be a shit
Well,
show. But
she's
like,
a villain. She's a
Right.
reality star villain, and it was like, and everyone apparently was like, "Do not hire Omarosa." But
Right.
Trump is so stupid; he brings on anyone who sucks up to him. So he
Right.
brings her in. I mean, that's the Trojan horse just coming right on.
Seriously.
She was like, "I got you." I mean, it's like,
recorded him.
Everyone.
Because if
she was like, "Fire me on national television one more time."
wow, wait, so have you heard any of these tapes?
Yeah, they're playing all of them.
Ooh, that's crazy.
And so yesterday, Sarah Sanders at the White House briefing.
Does she have anything on her?
No, but she was saying, she's like, she couldn't deny that there's tapes. She couldn't officially deny that there's tapes of the president using the N-word, which at this point we already know he's a racist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's already gone after the Mexicans. He's gone
But
after
there's
me
being
1,000 times.
Right.
But it's like, you know,
wow, there's
and
being
Patty's
a
part Mexican too.
man.
Yes.
That is crazy. I did not know that. I always check CNN like right before I go to sleep, and then I don't really scroll down.
That seems
'cause-
like a terrible time to do it.
I know.
I watch
right?
Rachel Maddow before I go to bed.
Wow.
And then watch Morning Joe, which I guess I'm...
Omarosa's Scorched Earth Tell All.
Oh, yeah, she's released the book too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, so she's a genius. She just won America.
Yeah, basically.
She just won America. Well, good for her.
I mean, you don't have to like her, but also if this ultimately takes him down, like, I'm really glad it's a strong woman of color.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, but I mean, I can't say anything positive about her
Wow.
because I think she really is just like a true nightmare. But I just, as an outsider watching this, I'm like, this is really funny.
Right.
That, like, this is what's gonna, you know?
Yeah,
Or is it
God.
gonna be Stormy Daniels? Is it gonna be the Mexican thing? Is it gonna be this? Is it gonna be that? Is it gonna be the
Motherfucking
cheating? Is it
Omarosa.
gonna be the Playboy?
Like,
Is it gonna be
but
the...
literally at this point, it's been nothing. So, like, what makes us think that this is going to do any
Right.
difference?
Well, he's
Because
panicking because now everyone in his campaign is under arrest. They've been subpoenaed. They're in trial, like the Manafort trial that's going on right now. And he's trying to get Mueller by firing all these people in the FBI one by one by one by one. And it's like, dude, it doesn't, like, you're
How does he
clearly
have the
scared.
time in the day? Like, how does he have that much time to like do that? And then like run the? I guess this is obviously
Well,
what
he's
spending
not
most
well,
of his
running
time
I
any
don't
doing,
think
but-
he's
country.
running the country.
But like even to tweet that much, like
Oh,
you know what
he's
I mean?
tweeting
Because he's not like in
top.
he's
Is this
not in,
insane?
he's not in good shape. It's like how does he have the stamina?
Well, the Omarosa is like, he's losing it and da-da-da-da. And girl, it's all, it's a
Wow.
reality TV. We've jumped into our TVs. We live in our TVs. It's the Truman Show.
Wow,
We live in the Truman Show.
crazy.
We're watching these like CNN, like it's the Truman Show.
right.
I want to say Fran Lebowitz said something. I was listening to her interview the other day, and she when she was in Australia a couple months ago, and she said the most brilliant thing in the world to me. She was talking about the interviewer was at. Well, she said two things I thought was funny. One, she was talking about being offended. She goes, I can't believe that this is a position on the left has taken. She goes, this. Let me explain this to you. Every time you leave your house, you will be offended. Do you want to
Sure.
know where I'm not offended? My apartment. Because I've chosen everything to be in that apartment.
I'm offended in
And
my
if you're
apartment
offended by
'cause I check my
someone,
phone and I'm
go be
pissed.
more offensive to that person.
Right.
And it was so funny that I was like, oh yeah, that's true. Like, everything is going to offend you.
Right.
So you know what I mean? And then the other thing she said, she was talking about gays and how gays are so different than any other community because like, she's like, I landed in Australia. She's like, and for the Mardi Gras, this big gay holiday in Australia, Cher gets off the plane. And I think, really? Still Cher?
Still Cher.
She
We're
goes, and it's
sticking
not
with
like
her.
people her age are going to see her.
Right.
20-year-olds, they want to go
Right.
see Cher. She goes, you know, my mother loved Clark Gable, but there's no 18-year-olds today who are like, ooh, Clark Gable.
Right.
But like gays are still like, Cher!
It's true. It's true. Yeah,
I'm going to
that's
find
so funny.
the quote. I'm just going to play the quote. So talk amongst yourselves while I find
Are you
this.
dating anybody? What's up with Patty's love life?
Oh,
No.
you
Sex?
barked up the wrong.
I don't even know that we have time for this.
Really?
Yeah. So okay. So
I've
there
been
was
seeing
this,
somebody.
So there was this guy that I met via Instagram.
Nice.
We like had a little moment. I thought it was very cute. We like.
Where does he live?
Well, so he's an actor. So
Okay.
he's not been in New York City.
Right.
And
So you met up. It was fun.
so we met up. It was a fun little like neat, cute, whatever. He like messages me the next day, to which I'm like, ugh. I like throw my phone across
were
the
you
room. I'm like,
looking,
oh my god.
Were you guys looking for fun, or was it like, okay, let's maybe have something, like see where this
You know,
goes?
I don't know. I mean, I thought he was cute, but I wasn't necessarily looking for anything
Right.
specific.
Right. Just
so to
totally.
speak. You know
But
what
you
I
also
mean?
weren't
It's
closed
just
off to
like
it.
Right,
Right.
exactly. And you know, we had a conversation and whatever, so then he starts texting me and messaging me and you know, I'm sort of like going along with it, like fully not expecting to be like involved with anyone, but like here we are, so then I'm like getting attached. And,
Sure.
you know, so he was like doing a show in another state, and I went to visit him,
Nice.
which was very cute. And then
Yeah.
I come back, and you know, he's planning to come back to New York after the show, and I go and visit him again, and he
Nice.
comes back to
Sounds familiar.
So this has been going on
he-
back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, for a little bit, not a
Did some-
very long time,
and
which is
then
what
what
makes this
happened?
kind of
And
ridiculous.
the crew did an entire
So-
research on him before. Patty mentioned
Great.
him, and Bob found every bit of information about him.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So then we get back to New York, and he just kind of
Ghosted.
dips. You know?
Do you think he was just looking for a pen pal when he was away?
You know, that's
But it's
part
like, then
of
why
it.
would he be coming and visiting you?
Well, I was going to visit him.
And then he moved back to New York.
Right. I feel like, yeah, maybe I was a distraction from what was happening where he was, you know, and that thought had like sort of like crossed my mind. So anyway, you know, I basically kind of,
Let's just say you guys maybe potentially weren't as sexually compatible as you originally thought.
yeah, and maybe that's what it was, but you know, I wasn't clued into that till like a little bit later.
Yeah, it's
and
hard
you know,
because the excitement of first having sex with
well,
someone.
right, and it was like we were away from each other,
Right.
so it's like, you know, maybe at some point his feelings shifted. I don't know.
I felt
but
like that with the Canadian a little bit because I was like, she was more toppy, and then it was fine, and then I was like, no, I like being the more toppy one.
But it's
Right.
also a thing of like younger people. When I was younger, I'm just saying because I used to be younger, is that you're not quite able, like you're just, everything is still excitable. And so you're not looking for, you think you want like a relationship. And then when you get in one, you're like, uh-oh. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, and I've been there, so which is
Right.
why I feel like I have a lot of like, I've been giving him a lot of like,
Totally.
sort of like,
Oh, he deserves it.
space
Because
to be
he's- no.
like, you know, I'm like, I'm
That's
not
how-
holding anything against him
when I
per se.
same
you
with
know?
me and the Canadian, where I was like, okay, like what am I really upset about? Like that her
Right.
like, erratic behavior, that she didn't really have boundaries at first, that she was like acting like she wanted a relationship but didn't. Oh, because she's 24. Like,
Yeah, I'm like, you know,
pass.
it's okay.
I've done way worse.
And you know, he
I'm
was
out.
just coming
I'm
back.
out.
He was
Like-
just coming back to New York. He has like a lot of stuff that he's like trying to like get together and like figure out how he's going to stay here. And
Right.
he's like on that actor grind. Like I've been there.
Right.
I've been 25. Like I get what's up.
Right.
But you know, the thing is like as we know
Doesn't
as
mean it's not
adults, I'm like, it
disappointing.
doesn't mean like you disappeared from
Right.
someone. It doesn't mean that we can't continue this. It doesn't mean that I didn't want to be supportive
And the
while you're
irony
in
is-
this space of like uncomfortable.
Right, and you would have been
uncomfortableness.
great.
Uncomfortability. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can I play the, I
Matteo's got
found
the
the friendly,
clip.
but it's quick. Just
Yeah,
3
yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
All right,
Please.
this, and I think
It's
we'll
3
all-
minutes?
No, we have 3 minutes.
Oh, we have 3
Okay,
minutes.
ready?
Okay.
Ridiculous. I am so opposed to this. I find this shocking. And I find it shocking that this is a left position. You know, and this is why I hate us. You know, if you're offended. I mean, first of all, to me, being offended is a natural consequence of leaving your house. The only place I am not offended is in my apartment. Why? Because everything in my apartment I chose. I like everything in my apartment, and I'm in my apartment. And that's it, and it's perfect. But the second I walk out the door, other people. The problem is other people, of course. So other people who I did not choose. Unfortunately, not everyone in my subway car did I choose to be in the subway car. I'm just astonished by it.
Trigger warnings?
It's, you know, you might have your feelings hurt. You know, you are going to have your feelings hurt 1,000,000 times a day. You better get used to it. You know, I mean, the best way to deal with that is hurt their feelings.
That's great. Good for her.
She talks openly about being a lesbian in that interview. It's really fascinating.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
She's got a great voice.
Oh, she's
Yeah, also, I was like,
fabulous.
she kind of sounds
like
like
Barbara.
you. I
Yeah.
sort of, for a
Me?
second, I was
Yeah.
like, yeah. I was like, wait,
Sounds
Matteo, this is just you.
that she. I sound like Fran Lebowitz. She sounds like a gay 32-year-old man.
I think so,
Yeah,
right? Yes.
definitely. It sounds like
Yeah.
one of your
When it came on,
impressions.
I was like,
Oh, it sounds like my impression.
I
Yeah.
was like, he's pulling one over on her.
Yeah.
I can't even do a Fran Lebowitz impression.
Well, you're doing it right now.
Like I can do it as Barbara. I don't like being offended. If you don't like being offended, I'm out. We have to end. Patti, where can everyone find you?
Legal Minor on Instagram, or you can follow me on Twitter. I tweet once a year. It's at
Followers,
legal_minor.
are you at 10,000 yet?
I'm not.
Guys, everyone follow
I think
Legal
I'm
Minor.
losing
Get into
followers
10K.
faster than I'm getting to
Oh, I
10,000.
lose followers every day.
It's like,
Every day.
whatever. These things. Oh, come on, Crystals.
Hell yeah.
Girl.
And then I'm at M. Willman, and Matteo is at...
Matteo!
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
Later, dude.